in my life, I've had probably a dozen dreams that are just really significant. One dream that I had was, and this is unfortunate, I didn't write it down, and that's something I regret, because I wish I would have written down the details. But the basic narrative or the story of the dream was that John, of the Gospel of John, the one who wrote that, one of the 12 disciples, he was in heaven, and this dream came specifically at a time when I was studying the actual physical construct of the heavens and the earth. You can read Isaiah chapter 40, I think it's Psalm 104, maybe 102, I think it's actually Psalm 102, and many other scriptures, Genesis chapter 1, that talk about the heavens and the earth actually being in the same construct, just like a house with an upstairs and a downstairs. And the implications of that are really awesome. So I was really studying about how heaven really witnesses a lot of the actions that go on the earth. And so during that time I had this dream, and John, of the Gospel of John, very specifically, that one man, he was weeping in heaven over my life because I have the internet in which to view explicit content. Catch this. The Apostle John was weeping because he never had to deal with the convenience of the temptation of pornographic material in our generation. So John, this apostle, was weeping for me. In the dream, he was weeping for me because his heart was burning for the reality that I was so surrounded by temptation. Anytime I could pull out my phone. Now I want to say my phone has accountability software that keeps me from doing this. But I could pull out my phone, and the same with my computer. I have accountability on there. I could pull out my computer if I wasn't doing those things. I could go to a bookstore. I can go any place, and there is explicit content all over the place. And the implications of that for men is truly, are truly unbelievable. That's just something that's unheard of in the scope of history. And I thought it really marked me because it actually encouraged me. And the reason why it encouraged me was because the message I felt was the Lord was saying, your generation, the truly extraordinary time of evil being easily accessible. And so it's not that we're overrun with evil necessarily. I think there's more than ever, there's great things going on. And righteousness is prevalent among the earth. Christ is being exemplified. The reality also is true. We have never before been able to express our sexual immoralities more easily, more to our detriment, more, I guess for lack of a better term, more richly than we can now. The depth and the ease of it, and the convenience and the privacy and the technology is staggering. I told this to a friend just today. We were talking. Imagine, okay, I'm 24 years old, okay? About to be 25 years old. And I told this guy this, and I thought it was actually really provoking. Imagine your age, whatever you are, if you're my age, if you're older, younger. Imagine your age. And let's imagine that every 20 years throughout human history, for 6,000 years or whatever, however long human history has been around, every 20 years you plucked out someone who was a Christian and who was your age at that time. So you catch what I mean? You're around. Basically, let's imagine you're up in heaven, you know, in a physical room. And since I'm 24, we'll use me as an example. 24 years old, and I'm surrounded by 24-year-olds who have lived throughout history, right? Maybe Abraham Lincoln when he was 24. Maybe, you know, Tertullian back in the 2nd century while he was 24 years old, and all the way in between, right? And let's say they're my age, they're my gender, and they're talking about what life is like for them. Never, 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 never that would even remotely understand what I'm up against during their life. You catch what I mean? It's a staggering reality. So I encourage you. Jesus knows that you are in the thick of it like no one else has been throughout human history. How much more is His grace going to prove its power in your lifetime when you're able to face that, be delivered of it, and walk in freedom and purity on the day of the Lord?